Welcome, everyone, to the very first completely unnecessary podcast with my co-host, Ian Ferguson.
Howdy.
I'm Pat Contry. Me and Ian talk a lot on the phone. We talk about old discussions about, video game stuff, movie topics. So we thought, why not do a podcast?
Gather round, there to talk of
300 episodes.
300 of them.
Welcome to the completely unnecessary podcast. 300th episode. Spectacular. Alongside Ian Ferguson.
Spectacular.
I'm Pat Contry. This is a celebration in some ways, but it'll be a nice show regardless. On the show today, we'll be talking about Nintendo going after a Pokemon fan game, if you can call it that. We'll be talking about Activision Blizzard's plan to buy Kotaku and PC Gamer. That should be fun. NFTs up the wazoo again.
Yeah.
And CU Podcast 300 Memories.
Yeah.
How was your weekend, Ian?
It was good. Big stuff. Windjammers 2 came out.
Oh.
Yep. And that's what I spent my weekend playing when I had free time was Windjammers 2. It's really, really good. I like it a lot. Really minor tweaks kind of across the board. They didn't change too much. I was afraid they were going to change too much and it was going to, they were going to try to...
I mean, it's Windjammers. I mean, how much would they change?
Well, I thought they were going to put in some sort of like input special moves and stuff like that. I figured they would try to go that route to spice it up. But no, they added a couple of new things. The gameplay is really fast, really sharp. Online seems to be pretty good.
Sharp.
When I was playing online the other night, there were 600 people playing online, which was actually pretty damn good. The lowest I've seen so far is like 130. It is crossplay between PC and Xbox, but I don't know if it's crossplay between Switch and PS4. Anyway, yeah, it's fantastic, and that was like the big, the positive part of my weekend. The negative part of my weekend was watching the Bills game on Sunday.
Oh boy, Ian.
Yeah, that was hard.
I texted you thinking, there's no way. With 13 seconds left, it's over.
I have been a Bills fan for far too long to have felt anything but dread in that moment, and it happened exactly how I thought it was going to. Why they just kicked that off and did it, I have no idea.
Usually do that little pooch or squib kick, so like it forces you to like handle the ball and you take at least a couple seconds off the clock.
They would have lost 5 seconds
because you got to take the ball and at least down it. That takes it, and plus I forget if the clock starts when the ball hits the ground, I believe, and usually on those squib kicks you like kick it like almost like a ground ball. So like it would have taken at least a few seconds off the clock. Yeah, I believe. And so they 13. I also didn't think though that the defense would let them get 3 huge plays in 13 seconds. The Buffalo defense, so that's really on them as well, allowing those huge like that was all 3 timeouts. Kansas City. So it's like if they had like 1 timeout, there's no way they would be able to do it. But like with 3 timeouts, obviously Mahomes is the best quarterback in the game at this point in terms of skill. Like
both of them looked amazing. I mean, and that was the problem with the coin toss for me was neither of those quarterbacks weren't going to get a touchdown with the first overtime possession.
Yeah.
I mean, for all, Mahomes came out of that as the winner, and Mahomes is a great quarterback, but Allen didn't fuck up any opportunities he had either. Not really.
He put the team on his back.
Yeah.
All the rushing yards, over 100 rushing yards.
Falls on defense, which is a shame because everyone all year has been talking about how the Bills have the best defense, but
it was a great game.
Yeah.
Great game. Well, at least you know that, it's gonna turn into like how Peyton had to get through Brady. It's gonna be like that. And then eventually he did. And that's how it's gonna be.
The thing is we killed the Chiefs earlier in the year.
That's the thing. In the playoffs, that's
playoffs
what you have to do.
Different.
Playoffs. But
talking about playoffs.
But it was great. Aaron Rodgers gone, Brady gone. I didn't think people didn't think we'd be at a point in time where people like Brady better than Aaron Rodgers, but here we are somehow. And like a year ago, if you told me that, I would have said there's no way in hell that Aaron Rodgers would be despised more than Tom Brady. And now Brady's like, hey, he's not such a bad dude, Tom Brady.
That Rams game was, I could not imagine being a Rams fan and having to clench your ass like that for the last quarter.
The Rams, I texted Frank. I said, hey, Frank, I know that there's not point shaving in football, but if there was ever a game that they were point shaving, because the fuck ups that the Rams did, the snap which almost hit Stafford in the face, went back 30 yards. Once I saw that, I said, Ian, the mob's in on this game. They have to be, because like you don't see that in a playoff game. Like the game was at hand, and then there was 2 fumbles. That bad snap, it was insane. That was the most insane game ever. And obviously, we don't talk about sports a lot, but that weekend, this past weekend, was in. If this is how football always was, it would somehow be more popular. All 4 of those games were insane. All 4 of them.
Oh yeah,
they were nuts.
That was top tier football.
It was nuts. They all came down to like one score between all the games, or like walk-off field goals. It was insane. The one kicker called his shot. What game was it? He called his shot. I can't keep them straight in my head anymore with the games. Whoever beat Aaron Rodgers. He said, "Well, looks like we're going to the NFC Championship game." The Bengals, yes, called his shot. The kicker. I think that's when he called his shot. They were interviewing the kid. He's like 21, 22, 23. And it's like, God, the balls on these folks. And yes, Ninja, it's very difficult to kick a field goal. I'm not forgetting that. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. No, it was. I mean, it was exciting. I mean,
you happy we're at 300, Ian?
Yeah.
We should have done the recording from the bedroom.
Oh, no.
From literally the old bedroom. I should have just knocked on the guy's door. Now owns a condo. Like, hey, we're doing the podcast from here. We're gonna set up the little.
We should have done some 300th anniversary, 300th episode NFTs. That's what we should have done. We
absolutely should have done.
Done that. We absolutely should have made NFTs, because NFTs are what the people want.
Which is what they're trying to tell you in order to pump up the people that already have their NFTs, because it's all pump and dump.
They don't
scheme.
They don't want NFTs. But Twitter has brought NFL NFT Pro. Mixing up the.
There's no NFL NFTs yet. Is there? They don't have that yet,
buddy.
Not like the NBA.
Maybe not.
Do they?
There's got to be.
Is there NFL official ones?
I don't know, but I typed in NFL NFT and it gave me the DraftKings Marketplace, the newest place for NFTs.
I don't think there's official ones.
No, I don't know that there is.
There's knockoff ones.
Of course, there's knockoff ones.
They announced a deal in September for one. I don't know if they're out yet. Dapper Labs is doing it. Okay, so maybe they have them. Dapper Labs. I love the names of these. Yep, they got them. Digital video collectibles. They're not calling it NFTs. Digital video collectibles. Sorry, you can go on. So Twitter, I'll go on. Twitter is now that has NFT profile pics as part of their Twitter Blue package. I'm on Twitter Blue now. It's $3 a month because there's good features like automatic unrolling of threads if you want. Most importantly, you can edit your tweets within a certain amount of time. But if you get that, you can now post your NFT as your Twitter profile. If you do that, you get a fucking hexagon instead of a circular profile outline.
My favorite thing that I saw about that since its announcement was someone who posted the announcement of hexagon NFT icons next to a definition of what a mark is.
Yes.
And very, very true. I'm sure they think it's a way for them to all show off how cool they think they are. It is a big red "Do Not Interact" sign for me. I now know
for us, yes, but for the NFT scammers out there doing the new NFTs, that's like I said, they're marks.
Right, exactly. They are.
You're
marks.
Saying I'm a mark. Come and take money from me.
Come sell me some.
I'm
NFT
an idiot.
shit.
I will give you money. Like that's what it says. And that was actually, I'll bring it up early. Excellent idea. The name is Folding Ideas. Excellent video from Folding Ideas. The problem with NFTs. It's an over 2-hour video. Strap in, watch it at 1.5x, but it starts with the history of crypto. It leads into NFTs, the type of people that are buying NFTs. It talks about his interaction on these NFT discords, all these groups, how they act like cults, and things like that in order to recruit. There's like wrong think involved. You say, even if you say I got scammed on a coin, well, we don't need those negative thoughts about NFTs because we're all in this together. It's like, it's scary shit. And it's stuff we all brought up about it being pumping up schemes and creator fool theories. That's all NFTs are. But also point out things about like who's really the ones profiting off of these and how they're profiting. It's a great video. It gets technical, but you can still understand the technical nature of it. The post office has NFTs now. The United States Postal Service has fucking NFTs now.
I said online,
I couldn't believe that.
What's next? The CDC is going to have some commemorative COVID NFTs?
Viral NFTs. It's insane. But that's the problem, is that it's so cheap to mint these. From what I saw, it's like around $80 to mint one of these. In terms, that's your energy / gas fees. To do that anyone could fucking do. I could do one today. Like that's the issue with it. There's no oversight into it. Anyone can get into it and post art they don't own. We talked about this. No one. There's the NES Punk NFT someone tried to do last week. It's insane. The quote from the Postal Service. And usually, the Postal Service, I try to stick up for them, even though the customer service is terrible to me. It's really about here's the quote from the manager of licensing. It's really about putting out our brand in new and different ways and surprise people. You're the fucking post office. You don't need a brand. You don't need a brand. You're a government agency that people use to ship products. Everyone uses you. You get the vast majority. It's almost a monopoly. That's how many people use the post office. Every day people use the mail. Every day you use the mail service.
That is right.
You don't need. There's not anyone who doesn't know about the post office. That's fucking nuts. But even the post office says, hey, you know what? We can make money off of idiots. Like those Castlevania NFTs sold for a ton of money. I think I told you the map one sold for like $26,000.
Yeah, I saw. Do you think there was? I feel like NFTs is really a product of the past few years. The past few years of people loudly and proudly beating their chest about how dumb they are and how it's a good thing to be dumb and how proud they are to be dumb and to not listen to things like science and teachers and history. People are like, NFTs, we can sell fucking anything.
Well, they're all just scams. I mean, that's the whole thing. There's tons of crypto coins that popped up and went away the past few years. It's all the same thing. Get in early, suckers come in behind, and a lot of times that's how they get people in. But as Folding Ideas point out, sometimes when they're telling you that, hey, we're pumping it now, you're the dump. You're the end of it. They're telling you that so you buy more, so they got in way before you. It's all scams. It's so unethical. It's disgusting. There's obviously no regulation with this. It's all out in the ether. It's all out there. So what can you do? People are going to lose money, and they are losing money. It's just when is it gonna burst?
Yeah,
I guess as long as people have money. That's the thing. It's like Folding Ideas had a great term for these people that like these were people that are usually socially reclusive. So then they can get into these clubs. Basically, these are like digital clubs that they're a part of, with also in the belief that they're going to get rich quick. So that's like it's all these weird ideas thrown together, and they have enough money to blow, obviously, to risk it. So it's like the perfect, like you said, they're marks. They're the perfect marks for con artists. Perfect, and they advertise themselves. And the old days,
you hear about people getting conned every day with the NFT stuff. Opening up their digital wallet to let people in because it's part of a trade, and they end up losing everything. Yeah. All my apes gone.
That's one, but that's only one of the many ways you can get scammed. There's tons. From what Folding Ideas was saying, like there's no even way even on some of these blockchains that you could have viruses or Trojans or malware inside of those themselves. Like there's all this weird shit about what things you can inject inside of it. Like it's scary. Besides the fact that like we talk about digital games going away if the servers go down. The servers can go down on all this shit, on the NFTs. Like it can be gone anyway. Even if you believe in the ecosystem,
yes,
the stuff can be gone. It's nuts. It's beyond the house of cards. Well, cards is a physical item. So seeing that article, NFTs are coming for your video games players. Get ready. This is what I'm going to say about this real quick. I do think that, yes, almost all the major players will experiment with NFTs and for games, but I really think it'll be received the same way the mass public has received it. You'll get the true believers, the smaller minority,
right?
And most people will be like, "What the fuck is this?" I think I read, I have to find it, that the Ubisoft NFTs, how many actually sold. It wasn't many, from what I read. I had to find.
Oh, there was an actual amount.
Somehow there was an actual amount, because I guess with the marketplace you can probably tell like what's out there.
Well, I don't know. Did you see there was the other bit of news that was going around that there are only 400,000. If you look at the people involved, there are only 400,000 wallets involved in NFTs right now.
Only 400,000 wallets.
Wallets, yeah. So that's,
and you could have more than one wallet.
You could.
But
even if that was all individual
maximum
people,
400,000
people, unique people interested in NFTs. That's nothing.
And that doesn't account for a lot of the scams have people buying their own shit.
Sure.
In order to say, hey, oh, look, Ian, this person, which I own that sock puppet account, bought this NFT for $10,000. It's a steal at $5,000.
That's lower than I thought. Eurogamer says Ubisoft appears to have sold a grand total of 15 NFTs. 15. When you said low, I thought 200.
I thought 26 was in my head.
15 NFTs.
And that came out like a month ago?
This was from, it was November. It was in November was when it came out. Yeah, and this was updated on the 21st of December, so it could be 30 NFTs now, could be 26, but this article is saying 15 as of December after a month.
Yeah. So there you go. Love Eurogamer. Another article from The Verge talking about how most devs hate NFTs. Developers made their feelings known in the annual GDC survey. Many quotes directly from developers were scathing. How this hasn't been identified as a pyramid scheme is beyond me. I'd rather not endorse burning a rainforest down to confirm someone owns a JPEG, in quotes, owns.
Who is this talking?
This is one of the devs.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Burn them to the ground. Ban everyone involved in them. I work at an NFT company currently, and I'm quitting to get away from it, said another. Not all were critical, but 70% of the dev respondents said their studio had no interest in NFTs. 70% there. A vast majority of respondents spoke out against both practices, noting their potential for scams, overall monetization concerns, and the environmental impact. Only a few called it the future of gaming. It's all the future, Ian. It's the NFT and crypto future. It's all out there. No regulation. It's freedom. Not the fact that it's used for criminal activities and scams and things like that. And the fact that when something isn't regulated, there's a reason why we have regulations so people don't take advantage of systems. And yes, it's an imperfect world we live in. People take advantage of our financial situation all the time. But you'd rather have someone trying to be taking care of it, like minding the sheep, basically, than having all the foxes running the hen house, as they say. Because that's what happens with this stuff.
I think it's very funny to look at a problem and go, the solution to this problem is to get rid of all the work we've made on it so far. I mean, it's absurd.
Yeah. I even saw in that YouTube video.
The world is complicated. There's no easy way to do this shit. Getting rid of regulations isn't going to magically fix problems. Yes. I laughed at it last week, but it's the same thing. These people talk about how it being a Wild West landscape is what they want until all apes is stolen, and then they go crying to OpenSea and have to have a centralized authority stop the trade of their NFTs.
When you get rid of regulation, you have the housing crash happen. That's what happens when you get rid of regulations. You have stuff like that happen.
Right.
When you allow everyone to buy houses they can't really afford the mortgage to. That's what happens. Yeah. So that survey is coming out 2 months ahead of their physical. They're doing a physical GDC this year. Okay, hopefully by then it's going to be March 21st to 25th in San Francisco. Hopefully by then we're in a better spot with the Omicron thing going on here. They're expecting 15,000 to 17,000 attendees this year.
At GDC.
At GDC. Well, hopefully. Yeah, check out the Folding Ideas problem with NFTs video. You can also check out Ian Flea Market Madness Volume 44, which is out there.
Me, 44, huh?
44 of about, there's going to be about 52 or 3. This one was filmed 6 years ago.
Crazy.
They've all been filmed about 6 years ago. And
I was going to say none of them are recent.
Frank on the quest to find a serving platter. There's like a mini arc in there. He's like, not many mini arcs in the episodes. His quest to find a platter. Frank was in rare form. He always is. He's not in all the remaining ones. There's some he's not in. Just to let you know. 2016. That was a rough year when I was filming them, but I filmed them. It's never rough at ultimatenintendo.com though.
No, it's not.
It's a smooth experience. No NFTs, no crypto, just good items, good physical items.
Just good physical items you can hold on to.
RBI baseball stickers you can use and stick on a laptop of your cat.
You may even get one of the ones that Patter I just stripped.
Oh, God, get our DNA today. You got the certain guidebooks that are physical there. And you have the CU Podcast enamel pin. This week, 10% off all CU Podcast items at the shop. T-shirts, pins with the code CU Podcast 300. Get yourself 10% off. Get those. We're running a little bit low on the enamel pins. We're down to the last bag of them. So there you go. We've gone through them there.
Almost sold out.
And I'll be
selling fast.
Yeah, the allocation as in television, we've allocated a certain amount in the bag in my on top of my dryer in the garage. And I'll be on Twitch Wednesday, twitch.tv/country code as well. Call of Duty is going to stay in the PlayStation, maybe, Ian?
Maybe. So a lot of people disagreed with what we said last week. Disagreed with what I said about COD.
They both said it would be insane to take it off.
It would be. But a lot of people have brought up a point that I feel like is actually more likely what might happen. They may keep these exclusive, but I don't think they're going to keep. They're going to try to find a way to sell Xbox Game Pass to Sony and to Nintendo, and I think that's what they want to try to do.
Of course,
yeah. But it doesn't mean you're not going to be able to play it if it's on a PlayStation.
But
if you're on a PlayStation,
but Game Pass is not as lucrative as selling you a $60 to $70 game off the bat. That's the whole point. You're not going to make up that cost. You're just not. For a new game, especially if there's special edition ones that are more and all the DLC in that they would provide. Game Pass revenue will not come close to that. It just won't.
Well, I've already seen some articles talking about how they think maybe Game Pass is at it's close to like the maximum of what they could expect people to sign up for, and I don't know, but it would make Game Pass seem much more it would make Game Pass seem a lot more attractive. That said, until they can actually get Game Pass on other systems, I don't think they would keep Call of Duty exclusive.
Okay.
And this article is saying that Phil Spencer wants to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. We'll see if that actually happens.
Let me do some pat math here.
Oh boy.
What was the last major one? Call of Duty World War II. Was that the last major one?
No, man. World War II is ancient. Call of Duty, the
Modern Warfare, the newer Modern Warfare.
Nope.
There's one after that?
Yeah.
What was the one with Kevin Spacey? I can't keep track of it anymore.
They make them every year. It is Call of Duty Vanguard is the most recent.
Okay. I'm looking up Call of Duty World War II right now. It did over 13 million just on PlayStation 4. That one game on PlayStation 4 did 13 million. So you're saying that, and Call of Duty games come out every year. They go Black Ops to Call of Duty. They revolve around them, right? It's a rotation every 3 years, right? So you're telling me that they're going to give up every year 10 million sales on a console at $60 a pop. They're going to give up a gross revenue of $600 million every year minimum, not counting DLC and everything. That they will never do that. They will never make those sales up with Game Pass ever.
Just to spite someone in a console war? No. I don't think that's really how it works.
Now, if you want to tell me, hey, Ian, 2-3 years later, that game's on Game Pass. You know what I mean? After all, we wrung all the money. Yeah, sure.
No, I think that they've already said they're going to put them on Game Pass, but Game Pass as of right now is only on Microsoft systems.
No, the point is that for a new game, to put it on Game Pass versus waiting, they're gonna you need to get $70 per pop. You have to.
They don't do that with any of their big releases. They don't do it with Halo. They've already said that these games will be on Game Pass.
Brand new?
Yes, that's how Game Pass works. That's why Game Pass has people who sign up for it.
Okay.
They're going to do that. The question is, can they get Game Pass on other systems? And I think
Well, they're not getting those PlayStation sales.
no. I think until
point.
they can get Game Pass on other systems, they will gladly sell $70 a pop to PlayStation customers.
They're willing to take that hit. I'm surprised they're willing to take that hit.
They've been doing it with all of their major releases since Game Pass came out. They did it with Halo. They've already said
Halo's on cross console.
they've already said they're going to do it with all the Bethesda titles.
Okay. All right. They're really trying to bleed him then. Okay. Like as quickly as possible. So I guess the calculus still is going to be, okay, how would you market if you market that to the Sony players that, hey, get the Game Pass on here, maybe like on your PC then, just market in that way, because I don't think you're going to get the Sony people to go out and buy all Xbox consoles for it to get Game Pass. That's going to be rough still.
No, like I said, I think they will gladly sell it a la carte to Sony customers for $70 a pop until they figure out a way or work out a deal to get Game Pass on all these other consoles.
Well, once Sony lets Game Pass on their console, it'll be over.
And also keep in mind that they don't keep these games on Game Pass forever.
Sure.
I don't know. That remains to be seen. Some of the big new titles they'll put on there, and then they'll take them down 2 months later to kind of urge people to go buy them. I don't know. We'll have to see what they do with the Call of Duty.
This is what Phil Spencer said. Had good calls this week with leaders at Sony. I confirmed our intent to honor all existing agreements upon acquisition of Activision Blizzard and our desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. Sony is an important part of our industry, and we value our relationship.
And if they do keep it on, keep it on Game Pass, I mean that's $180 from that person a year instead of $70. You know, if they keep Game Pass for it. So they end up getting that money for Call of Duty.
Well, but there's also then the people that already have Game Pass that.
Sure.
So like, it's a weird spot. I guess we'll see. It also depends when these relationships on these existing contracts will end. I guess. Sony's an important part of our industry. We value our relationship. Well, Sony's on the phone being, please don't take this off of our console. I mean, what else can they say? Right. I mean, they have zero leverage when it comes to it. I mean, the best example people get like in this article is Minecraft. That's everywhere, and it would be nuts if they made that exclusive. Minecraft. Then again, that was everywhere before. So that's why it's like I guess I don't know.
Yeah, and this is everywhere before too.
It's a weird spot. I don't see it happening. Let's put it this way. I think for this generation, it'll probably be status quo for this generation. Whatever generation, if there's going to be a PS6, whatever, in like 4 years or whatever, I think Sony will be safe until then, and then at that point, maybe it's like, well, you know, maybe Microsoft at that point then says we don't need a new console anymore, or there's some hybrid thing at that point. Sure. I don't know. A lot's going to change, but yeah, I think PlayStation folks will be safe for now.
I also think that Game Pass is absolutely going to see a price bump probably within a year.
If you're telling me that brand new all the future Call of Duties and those games that cost hundreds of millions to make are going to be exclusive, yes, there's no way.
It's not going to stay at $15.
No.
A month.
It'll be like Netflix. Oh, yeah, you start at like $8 for streaming, and now it's like 12, 13.
I see. Yeah. I think a bump to 20 a month is probably a guarantee by next year.
Which people will gladly pay.
Yeah.
Probably. Absolutely.
I would. Game Pass has been ideal for me in terms of what it offers. The PC implementation kind of fucking blows, but in terms of what it offers...
Why does the PC implementation blow?
You'd be surprised at how much an Xbox product, like an Xbox software, doesn't want to play nicely with their newest controller. They just haven't gotten all the proper updates out for the Xbox Series controllers. I guess from what people have said on PC, the Xbox One controller finally just got to a place where it was reliable for everything you booted up a year ago. So Microsoft is not, they're surprisingly dropping the ball on the PC end of this. They can fix it, but they haven't yet.
Maybe they realize, they think that many people are using the Xbox controller on the PC? Maybe that's why?
No, I mean, I think that's what they want you to use. I mean, supposedly Xbox controllers are supposed to be plug and play on Windows PCs. but the Xbox,
The old ones were. The 360 ones were if we had a USB one.
if you had the hardwired one, yeah. But yeah, with these, it's different.
That was good. I like that hardwired 360 controller. Those were tough to find at one point.
Shitty D-pads still are.
Oh, the shitty D-pads are crap, but they were nice to have those. Activision Blizzard boss mold buyout of Kotaku and PC Gamer in order to change the public narrative. This comes from our pals at Eurogamer. Controversial boss Bobby Kotick recently considered acquiring video games websites such as Kotaku and PC Gamer, according to a new report from the Wall Street Journal, with sources with knowledge of Activision Blizzard's recent plans. Kotick apparently suggested the idea to change the public narrative surrounding Activision Blizzard following months of media coverage of the company's culture, history of sexual harassment allegations, and subsequent employee protests. So this is like total like mafiosa tactics at this point. Like buy him out, throw money at it to solve.
Yeah,
the problem.
if we can't avoid the bad news, we're gonna buy the bad news and quiet it.
Wow, I don't know what to say. This deal is going to conclude. I think we're going to saw in March of next year. The buyout, Microsoft buyout of Activision will
of 2023.
Yeah, so that's how long it's going to take to finally go through. I think at that point, I don't think these people higher ups will be there. I just don't see how you can keep them with all this bad press. I just don't see, and all the bad. I don't see how Microsoft will keep them.
Sure,
they'll be gone in a year. It'll be a long year, but they'll be gone, I think, after that. Some of the comments, God forbid Kotick would have the humility to try and address the criticisms of him and his company. Instead, Activision schemed to gaslight the rest of the world by turning a video gaming site into propaganda. What a piece of work this asshole is. So if he bought these sites, would it just become like, would they still be covering non-Activision stuff? Or would it be like a directive that, they'll turn into like Activision Blizzard sites? Would Kotaku be like just talking about Diablo and Warcraft? I'm just curious, how would that work?
Right.
How would that function? What are you looking up there, Ian? Look, some Kotick stuff?
Yeah. He's just a horrible looking individual.
Okay. Someone just said, what the fuck? Reminder that post a buyout, Kotick will not only face no consequences, but will be rewarded with almost $300 million for his.
This is my big problem with it. He's going to get away with a golden parachute.
That's how these contracts work. Classic Bobby. Well, that's slightly very terrifying. Don't change your shitty behavior. Just buy up some of the outlets calling you out and make them PR for you. Yikes. Yeah. I'm sure lots of other news will come out in the next year.
Oh, it's
right beforehand.
A lot.
I read something about it might be a long play thing with Microsoft where they have to let it go, but once they take over, they can look at the behavior, like a behavioral clause, to not pay him out all that money. I saw someone mention that on Twitter.
Okay.
That there might be a way where Microsoft can say at the end of this, they do it like they do like an independent investigation into all this stuff once they control it and be like, we don't have to pay you that whatever the $300 million, we don't have to do that. And this is why. Okay. I just read something about that. I don't like I said, this is the stuff that's going to happen next year. We're a long ways away, but I read something about like, well, this may not be a slam dunk that he will get away scot-free.
I hope not.
Like there might be a clause in this in terms of like, oh, you act like an asshole, you don't get a parachute. Almost like breaking someone's tenure, so to speak. Like,
right, sure,
like if you're a teacher, you can have your tenure broken. It's tough, but you can do it. It's tough, but you can have your tenure, revoked in special circumstances. So you would hope to be something like that, like a moral clause for something. Like, come on.
Right. For
the person that's at the head of the company.
He just looks mean. Every picture of him, he looks like he's a mean guy.
Well, it's a mirror to your soul. Your puffy cheeks, I guess. I don't know. All right. Is that it for the intro?
I guess that's it for the intro.
The 300th intro. Did we do an intro for the first podcast? We might have just said, hey.
I'm sure there was an intro of some sort. I mean, we didn't just just hit record and jump right into tactics or topics.
We jumped into
tactics.
Either the 2DS or to Ben Affleck as Batman. Which one did we do first? That's all. That's what we had.
Which
back
one
then.
did we start with?
So whenever you think we're struggling for topics, eight and a half years in, we were struggling for topics that first week. If that's all was going on, was it really just a 2DS and Batfleck?
Yeah.
That's all it was?
Yeah.
And now Affleck comes out saying all these years later, yeah, it was a horrible being Batman.
It probably was for him.
And now he's back with J-Lo. A lot happens.
I felt like he could have been a good Batman, but I've never seen any of the movies he's been Batman in, so.
He was a decent Batman. Just I don't like the voice changing shit. I don't like that stuff at all.